Hey guys, welcome to the Gear Up Show, where we talk about EDC gear from a gear maker's perspective. I'm Mike.
And I'm Aaron.
And today we're going to be talking about
key organizers.
Yeah, key organizers. So we've got a little selection here of what we feel are some of the top brands in key organization. And we know there's a lot of products out there that can do similar things, and there's probably some cool ones that we're missing. So if you've got something that you particularly like, let us know in the comments. For today, we're going to be reviewing the KeySmart, Keyport, Pivot in particular, and the Orbitkeys.
Yep.
So we've got two of the KeySmart products. They've got sort of a line of products from their basic model, which is here, the original KeySmart, and all the way up to their KeySmart Pro, which has a lot of added features, which I'll talk about in a minute. Idea behind the KeySmart is it's just a super streamlined, very minimalist product. It's designed with two pivots to it, so you can get two sets of keys, which helps, I think, just keep it slimmer than some of the other options. This can hold up to, well, they said 10, but I think it actually holds up to 14 keys if you have the extender. Not a whole lot to this one. Their basic model is just real lightweight, anodized aluminum. Looks nice, and the keys sort of fit together like this. There's a little ring on the end of here that it can fold in if you like, but it's designed to be able to attach another key ring to it if you've got a large car key or a key fob that you want to put on there. Their next version up, or I should say their high-end version, is the KeySmart Pro. And this to me is a really cool product because it incorporates a lot of extra features that are super cool, with the biggest one being that tile. And if you're familiar with tile, you know that it helps you track things, so you can track your keys. You can also use it to track your phone. If you push the tile button on the KeySmart, your phone will ring, even if it's in silent mode. So you can also track your keys anywhere, because I think you can go onto the Tile app and on your phone, and you know, it'll pull up a map of where your keys are. It'll also make your keys ring. So they've got some built-in sound to this, which is pretty neat too. When you're charging your phone, it makes this cool little ring sound. Another feature on the KeySmart is there's a small flashlight in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here. It's not super bright. Okay, why don't we go to Orbitkey?
Sure. So Orbitkey is just kind of like a much more minimalist. There's no electronics involved, no flashlights or anything like that. Just a stylish leather, I believe, key organizer. And so it pivots from one direction, not two.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. And like you were saying earlier, sort of off camera, Orbitkey is like an ecosystem of key-related tools. So they also have this key ring, which I personally love because I have a lot of trouble with the sort of typical, I don't know how you call it, the ring that's on a fob that you have to pry open. Like I can never get it done.
Yeah, just one thing to add on the Orbitkeys is they come in a variety, probably the largest variety of different materials for the straps. There's leather, there's rubber, I think they've got a nylon one now, like a nylon mesh. So yeah, in colors, there's really just the most choices as far as matching your personal style. So Orbitkey is great for that.
I think they have more of a focus on like fashion.
Yeah, they're very minimalist, very fashion sort of centric, and keeping it clean. And on the other end of the spectrum, as far as that goes, is the Keyport, which in my opinion is very function oriented. They're the much sort of the more functional version. They also have one pivot where the keys pivot around, and you can kind of take your keys out, get to the key you want. This is sort of really interesting product in that not only do they have the insert tools, which we can go over, they've got a really nice multi-tool in here, but they've also got these tools that can snap on the outside of their carrying case. And so these four squares there are more than just decoration. That's sort of how it's like their proprietary snap-in system. I don't know if you can see that, Jen, but there's a series of sort of hooks and latches that slide in and lock. So they've got this flashlight, there's a pocket knife, there's a little charging cable for your phone, which can snap on here, which is a nice feature. Kind of a neat system. And then
it's like a modular design.
Yeah, it's very modular, so you sort of set it up the way you want it. And I don't think you're going to be switching these out a lot, but it is sort of modular. Set it up, get the modules you want, and then you've got a lot of like a variety of tools sort of built in here.
So we want to talk about categories, or
yeah, well, let's
like we're gonna start handing out awards. Which one of these is best for whom?
Well, let's talk about a few of the differences, maybe. As far as tools you can put in here, KeySmart, has the most tools, I would say. I don't know if they're the most functional. The Orbitkey has the fewest tools, I would say, but the tools that they do have are really well made.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look really neat. Orbitkey spends a lot of time on focusing on making great looking and feeling products, but you custom design specifically for their system, and their Multitool is really nice. It's just got a couple wrenches, a bottle opener, flathead screwdriver, but it's got a little point so you can use it to open boxes. So I think that would be a really useful tool. They've got an 8 gigabyte version and a 32 gigabyte version. So,
Nice.
so that gives you a few options depending on how much you want to spend. So those are their sort of 3 tools. And I would say Keyport has the most tools.
Absolutely.
And they've got tools that go inside, like these rotating blades. I really like their Multitool because it has the wrenches, it has a bottle opener, it's got a little pry bar. It's also got this sort of cutter, which could be used for string, or it's even got a little ruler on it. So that Multitool to me is the most multi. And they've got some other things. There's a little pen in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're in a pinch, use your little mini pen, and don't use it too often though, because I don't think there's a whole lot of ink in there.
Well, they sell the refills.
Aside from the tools that go on to inside the thing, they've got these tools that snap on. So this is their flashlight.
Yep.
You had noticed some cool features about that. Did you want to?
I think that the flashlight's great, mostly because it not only has this like pointing in one direction, sort of typical design for a flashlight, but if you click it again, it has these, I don't know what you call that, like area.
Yeah, it's
area
like a
mode.
lantern almost. Like,
Yeah, so you can just you can hold it like this.
This probably
sorry,
won't
but-
show up very well because it's a well-lit set, but
Yeah, I mean, we have
under normal lighting
100
conditions,
suns pointing in
if
our
you need-
eyes,
Yeah,
but-
if you need to use a flashlight, this actually has a really good flashlight.
and that's I think it's a really cool feature. The only issue that we sort of ran into it is that it's kind of easy to accidentally activate this when you're especially when you're putting everything on.
Right.
Which can be a little annoying. But
Yeah, it's a big push button, so if that's in your pocket, you could mistakenly turn that on. Aside from the flashlight module, you can put another module on the other side. So they've got a pocket knife that can snap on, and it's a little bit bigger than the one that goes inside the KeySmart. I think it's a little nicer. And then they've got, this is one of their anywhere tools as well. It's just a little charging cable, but that can snap on. But depending on how many of these you put on, it starts to get a little bit
unwieldy.
Bigger. And as you can see, we've got 3 keys in there, plus their 2 multi-tools, plus the 1 module. So it can get a little big quickly, but it's also very useful. But yeah, so we had a couple categories, I guess.
Yeah.
Best style-wise.
So there's 2 points to this.
Yeah.
So I think that they're all pretty aesthetic. I mean, I think they all look kind of nice, and that just depends on what your take is.
Right.
But the part of the design of the KeySmart is that it has a low profile. So out of these, I think it's the only one that if you put it in your pocket, you won't see, and you're wearing skinny jeans.
Right.
You won't see like the outline.
You wear skinny jeans, yeah. To me, I think the leather or even the rubbery plastic ones, and I think the Orbitkeys look really cool, and they would go nice with like a leather wallet. Style-wise, I really like the way these look. I know, Jen, that's your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Orbitkey. So the Orbitkey will make you feel smart and sophisticated.
And sophisticated.
Yes. And you could even, like, in theory, you could have your sort of daytime keys, and then you're going out on the town set.
Yep.
We didn't talk about how you install the keys. They're all very similar. You sort of unscrew it. You got to kind of line them up. It's a delicate process. It can be a little tricky for all of them, but it just takes a little time, and then you can get it. They're fairly easy to do, but you don't want to do it every day, right?
No.
So if you
want to set it up once, or every time you get a new key.
Which is the most useful? Are you going for that?
The Keyport. I think clearly, I kind of like the actual tools that you can buy, like the accessories, like the quality of them. They seem like kind of like the most functional.
Yeah.
And especially having like the pen, I think is really cool. Like if you're in a jam, I know that I would like, this isn't like a pen that you would want to use every day necessarily. Like this isn't going to be my first choice, but I think if you're like, you know, in a situation where no one's got a pen and you pull this out.
Yeah,
Kind of cool.
Having that there would be useful.
And I like.
Yeah, the KeySmart is also functional, especially with the tile feature. If that's something that you're interested in, whether you misplace your phone or your keys a lot,
Yeah.
that might be a nice feature for you.
Well, it's functional like for what, right? It's like for whom?
Yeah, and I would
Because-
say if you have a lot of keys, this is the most functional.
Yeah. At some point, you might just like buy a Leatherman.
Yeah, exactly. And then keep your keys on a keychain.
Yeah.
Which would you carry?
So for me, it's just like the original KeySmart.
Yep.
Because of that
keep it
profile and because I'm suspicious of GPS in general.
Right. Aaron's our locally paranoid.
Conspiracy theorist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
Local
paranoid though
paranoid
if they
conspiracy
really are trying to get you.
Yeah, exactly. Which one would you carry?
Yeah, I'm debating. I'm debating between the KeySmart Pro probably and maybe the and the Keyport, and just kind of figuring out how I want to hook it up, because I do like having that extra functionality to it. And then I also own one of these, so I may you know, sort of use this on
On the occasion.
dressy occasions. Yeah. So that.
That's true. Jim, which one would you pick?
The Orbitkey.
Yeah. hands down.
Hey,
The last one I would choose is the Smart.
the KeySmart.
The Pro with the.
See, you know.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. So that's our take on three really cool key organizers. Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you're interested in more gear reviews, tune in next week.
Yep, Monday at 2:30.